Today, we celebrate Independence Day for the United States of America. And it's really important to note those that have had major influence for the United States back on that July 4th in 1776. You see, without certain things happening around that period of time, we would not have the United States. In fact, the majority of the population during that time did not want to oppose Great Britain. They wanted to be ruled, in a sense, because they didn't know any other way. They thought that that was the way things were supposed to be. And it wasn't until the influence of Thomas Paine, in fact, he was even asked to write something that would help to influence the population during that period of time. And what he wrote was a pamphlet now in this book called Common Sense. And in it, he described the necessity to have the population embrace its independence in its own country, instead of supporting being ruled by a monarchy at that time. Now, today's United Kingdom is not the same, even though they still have a monarchy, but the monarchy doesn't rule. So we cannot look at it in the same way. You see, back during those times, the monarchy were absolute rulers. And Thomas Paine mentions that. Thomas Paine talks about how the king sets the rules, not the people. So whatever the king says goes. And that's typical when we see, even in today's world, we see authoritarian leaders setting the rules, setting the laws. It's their way or the highway, as it was back in those days. You see, what Thomas Paine wrote in Common Sense, he wanted people to embrace true independence, a true freedom that they would not have had. And I'm going to suggest that you read this book whenever you get the chance, as it set forth the actions needed for leaders at that time in the United States to have the population embrace that. So I just want to wish everybody a happy Independence Day. Celebrate those that came before us that helped to establish this nation of ours. And let's not lose sight that what Thomas Paine and others wanted was true freedom, equality, and embracement of all. What makes us great today is that diversity that we have within the United States. So let's embrace every single person. And that is the only way to make the United States great and continuing to be that way, to grow into its own greatness. So again, happy Independence Day, everybody. And let's just salute our flag, as I've always done.